Back at the office, we were calling it Super Spring. We were getting pretty excited around the end of August of possibilities of gatherings opening again, and kind of packed our calendar through September and October with just the best events and most important events we could think of. So we've had a few of them already, but coming up this weekend is probably the event anchoring our Super Spring. And it is our Disciple Makers Conference, Rosebank's first Disciple Makers Conference. The idea behind this, I guess, goes back to, in church circles, those working in churches, the idea of finding a curriculum or program to help Christians personally make disciples is kind of the holy grail in church circles. It just almost doesn't exist. And after a long season of trying to find it for Rosebank, we just decided, hey man, let's just put our heads together and figure it out ourselves. And that's what we've done. So on Friday and Saturday, our Disciple Makers Conference, Zwei, Justin, and myself will be launching to you, Rosebank, a unique pathway of making disciples that is as unique as the beautiful church of Rosebank Union. So we're really excited about this. It's got all the Rosebank flavor. It's got all the trimmings of a conference. It's going to be lots of fun. So if you haven't yet decided to come to that, then you're able to go check out. Details are available. Then coinciding with that this weekend is the start of our last major teaching series for the year called The Gospel of God. For me personally, I'm kind of thinking, man, this could be one of the most important sermon series I've ever done. I'll probably think that every sermon series, but I do really think that about this one. Tim Keller has famously said that the gospel is a pool in which a toddler can wade and yet an elephant can swim. Meaning it's both simple enough for a child to understand, but profound enough for the greatest minds to explore. In this series, we're going to wade real deep where the elephants swim. To get the most out of this experience, I really encourage you to consider coming back to church if you haven't yet been able to come back to church. There may be some good reasons for that, or perhaps it's just kind of the inertia of having gone so long with not being able to come back to church. I kind of think these days we need to think about rediscovering church. For some people, hey, this weekend would be a great weekend for you to rediscover church. It's interesting to think that the Apostle Paul, when he describes marriage, he describes it similar to the covenant that Christ has with his church, or vice versa. But either way, it's kind of hard to think about a marriage relationship being sustained purely on a virtual basis forever. It's just impossible. And I think church is like that. We've had such a grace of God in the season when we couldn't together. God really helped to keep us together. But now we really are able to gather again. And perhaps it's time for you, if you haven't yet had the opportunity, to #rediscover church. This weekend will be a great weekend for you to step back into the wonderful church community. Hope to see you this weekend and beyond.